The Justice Development Peace and Caritas Initiative JDPCI, Uromi, Esan Northeast Local Government Area of Edo State have appealed to media practitioners through the leadership of the Nigeria Union of Journalists NUJ Edo State Council the need to help amplify the cluster advocacy campaign against human trafficking that will draw the attention of policymakers in Nigeria.
Welcome all of you to this dialogue forum. The journalists put together by localizing trafficking in person response under the Scape Palladium coordinated project titled Galvanizing Action for Effective Trafficking in Person Response at local government level in Edo State. Indeed, we are very happy, and I'll be saying this both internal and external forum, that we are indeed very grateful to the Edo State government for bringing an approach, an action that to track the trafficking in the state. Later on, we understand why I said so. Because before Governor Baseki, former governor, living in denial, there was no trafficking in the state, and we were working stronger in the state. But Baseki came and meant that trafficking was high. Not only that, he responded to it, he established an agency known as Edo Task Force against human trafficking. So that task force is part of us. I don't know, we are not here yet. We should be here. This project is an advocacy project implemented by a cluster of civil society organizations in the Edo State, anchored by Uromi, Justice Development and Peace Caritas Initiative, with members include Jose Maria Foundation in Epoma, with the Johnson Foundation in Owan, JDPCI NUJ, IDROC Benin, GPI Benin, and Edo Task Force, ETA. And this project is being sponsored by Palladium, the scale being strengthening civic advocacy and local engagement. It's a project aimed at activating and institutionalizing trafficking in person response at local government area of the state by the year 2024, using 3 years as a pilot study. What I'm saying, as I said earlier, that Governor Obaseki not only responded to the issue of human trafficking, he established task force. We know not TPC Benin, task force is Benin. They already respond to the issue. And those of us who are working in the hinterland, the villages, we found that the issue of trafficking is issue reported to police and other agencies. We try as much as possible to see how we can work with police. In the year, on the 28th of June 2019, we have a session with the Nigeria Police at their headquarters here in Benin, try to let them understand what the difference between smuggling and the issue of human trafficking, the causes of human trafficking, and how we can mitigate this trafficking in a local area. But it's not really working, because when we get to a rural area, we found that the police sometimes, family unit may not even understand, and one police in one village will just destroy the case before the matter is being reported. So having a Edo task force, we are now getting that. One, the project is sure about. One is that we will now have local response, which means every local government there will be task force. An issue of human trafficking and migration will be handled, and the council coordinate all the activities of human trafficking in that locality, reporting to the headquarters, which is Benin. The Edo task force is not far from here, behind the Kitty Market. Two, we also want to look at the component in that on the Article 66 and 67 that talk about on VTTF. So based on this, and that is what structure we are working on to see how we can make that structure relevant. This is in line with the scale that we are working with, the scale objective that counter trafficking in person. The advocacy is strategically embarking the lawmakers and executive government to review the law, so that there will be a room to create a local task force. And so that is we will be engaging all the structures involved, ministry, department, and legislative angle to ensure the legislative review of the Edo State Trafficking in Person Prohibition Law 2018 to make provision for the creation of Trafficking in Person Response Unit at the local government level. The advocacy is also involved the activation of Human Trafficking Trust Fund and the Victim Trafficking Trust Fund Committee as created under the section 67 and 68 that I mentioned. We know since 2018 till now, about 5 years now, and that committee has not been set up, and it has not be effective in a way. So we are working on that to see the committee will be set up and that will be working. Now, the advocacy is also there towards ETA himself. We are looking at the budgetary application, what they receive from the state government is too small for it to be effective and to carry out their mission that have been set for them by the state government. They will not be able to achieve it with the small money they are getting every year. The amount to be funded in that is needful for them to carry out the intervention as designed. So we are advocating to make sure that the ETA government itself fund itself to carry out their duty. The cluster recognize the enormous role that the media can play in creating publicity and galvanizing community or supporters on the cluster's advocacy issue and draw policy makers and the government to make action toward realizing what the project seeks to achieve. It is not just we have ETA in Benin and state government that created ETA in Benin, and it's unfortunately the essence is defeated, and so that is the reason we are saying we are here today to also discuss this issue. Hence, we all gather here today for the social dialogue forum designed to strategically engage and involve journalists on the cluster advocacy work and build synergy with journalists to support and amplify the cluster advocacy campaign and draw the attention of policy makers and the government to the advocacy issue using your platform for speedy attainment of advocacy objective. In other words, we are using this forum to enlighten journalists to have more understanding of the advocacy issue raised by the cluster so that they can be our mouthpiece on what we are doing and the engagement so far. We shall give a comprehensive report of what we are doing so that we can speak for us and let the government know. And then the lawmaker, when we give you the detailed report of what we have done so far, we know we are gone so far. But we want ETA to be fortunate. But as it is today, it's unfortunate. More importantly, this dialogue session this morning geared towards on how journalists can work collectively with us. The cluster using both mainstream and online media to publicize and enlarge the cluster's advocacy work. And it's important to counter human trafficking and draw attention of policy makers to the issue, thereby contributing their quota in creating meaningful change towards countering human trafficking in the Edo State, in line with journalism, cardinal principles of passion for truth, social responsibility, and public interest.
Edo Chairman of the Nigeria Union of Journalists, NUJ, Edo State Council, Comrade Festus Alehe, assured the organizer the media would continue to support the state in sensitizing the public of the danger posed by human trafficking.
Say that we are very much aware of the danger posed from human trafficking. We are also very much aware that some persons that set out to embark on this journey did not finally return back to their family members. Therefore, we must continue to preach the ills of human trafficking. People try to look at the positive side of it, but from investigation, the negative side of it is more, because you can also describe human trafficking as modern slavery, because a lot of persons who have been trafficked for a very high amount to be returned are unable to do that now. A journey that would have cost about $2,000 or €2,000, but the traffickers will eventually request the victims to go for about $100,000. And one will be wondering how best to be able to pay back such amount of money. But that's why most of them now end up engaging in crime. So human trafficking is a crime of its own, but the victims too in the process are also lured into criminal activities so they'll be able to raise more money to pay back the debt they're owing. So I want to thank this NGO. I also need to say that Edo State government and the balance of the other being at the point have also been the forefront of eradicating human trafficking. And they have done so well in this. And lastly today, I use opportunity to appeal to parents and guardians to refrain from encouraging their children and worse in embarking on this kind of journey of no return. And we are also aware too that most of our young ones today, instead of concentrating on their education, will now end up making themselves available to be trafficked. So let me request my colleagues, please take this training seriously and ensure that you turn in whatever you are going to benefit from the training and allow the public too to be aware that human trafficking is evil, human trafficking is dangerous, and human trafficking can be a life of no return.
Contributing, the Benin Zonal Commander of the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Person, NAPTIP, Udoka Nwanwene, said that the dialogue is very important and strategy because media is very important to help sensitizing the public of the danger posed by human trafficking. Sometimes I wonder what would have happened if the media is not there. I also want to appeal to the organizer of the project to also train the media in strategic ways of reporting issues of human trafficking. He said,
It's strategic because the media is very, very important, particularly in reporting cases of human trafficking. Sometimes I wonder what would have happened if the media were not there to, constantly report these issues. But I would also want to urge the JDPCI that within the framework of the project, if it is possible, to also train the media, in strategic ways of reporting issues of human trafficking. It's very, very important because we know that human trafficking is a human rights violation. And sometimes when you see some of the cases that come up here and there, if the personnel in the media are not trained, reporting it will pose some challenges. Just yesterday, we arrested a minor, a 17-year-old girl, for trafficking a 14-year-old girl. And for a minor, you don't have to detain. You don't have to detain her. You can't take her to the shelter. So where do you place her? The parents are not here in Benin. She's staying with her boyfriend. We can't hand her over to the boyfriend to say, okay, come and stand at shorty. So these are critical challenges, sometimes you face when you are dealing with issues of human trafficking. And if the media is properly educated on how to report these cases, or for instance, we don't show the faces of victims on television and all that, it will go a long way in actually presenting the situations and protecting the victims as much as possible. So training and retraining of this nature, this is the first dialogue, but let there be critical training on reportage on these issues so that they will also be on the same platform. We'll be on a common ground in dealing with these issues. Issues of human trafficking is still very present a danger to all of us in society. present, danger to the society, like I said, it has not really come down. Every time you see, different methods. 2 weeks ago, a girl, a 17-year-old girl, was recruited all the way from Kaduna through a flyer of a job offer in Benin. And she got to Benin, and they picked her at a bus stop in the night at about 9 p.m. And she was taken to a home in Benin here. She said when she got to the home, she was the 8th girl that got to that place. And 2 days later, there were 15 girls. They lodged them, 2 per room. Thank God they didn't take their phone. But she said when she got there, they collected the madam, deleted her number, the number they were using to control her, to come all the way from Kaduna to Benin City. And she said they were not allowed to come outside the compound. They were just in there. And the brother got in touch with me and reported the brother couldn't give the appropriate address. So I said, well, get in touch with your sister, because he said he normally talks to her at about 12 midnight. Get in touch with her, tell her to escape, whatever she can do to escape from that premises. The sister could not believe that she was trapped until she went to meet the madam that she needed the menstrual pad. And when she got to the door, the madam's door, here in the madam was talking to somebody on the phone that they were going to be taking the following day for a blood oath, blood covenant. So, having had that, she now realized that she was in danger. And then she said, Madam, eventually she met Madam. Madam agreed that she could go and buy the menstrual pad. She and 3 other girls were taken out of the place with 2 men dressed in black, to make sure that they come back. They got them. They said when they started in the vehicle, they were asked to place their face down so that they will not detect where they are or where they are going to. Eventually, they go to the fruit market somewhere up Forestry. So when she got to the fruit market, the guards that were, following them were just by the side of the road, and she was able to signal to one of the madam in the fruit market that she was in danger. She was in danger. So the madam quickly realized, asked her to come inside the shop, and then quickly wore her a hijab. And they gave her the baby, the small baby that she had. So she tied the baby on her back, came out with the hijab without being noticed because she dropped her shoe as well. So eventually, they escorted her to the madam's house, and then they were looking for the girl all over the place. At a point, they were following the one NGO there in Benin, the Reverend Sister Kosudo, came to the place, because they didn't know where the girl actually went to. In the course of that, they met some men dressed, even in police uniform, looking for this girl. So that tells you that even to they operate by a network. As she said, in the compound where she was taken to, there were about 7 SUV vehicles that were parked in that compound. So eventually, when the Reverend Sisters got to the place at the food market, they said they saw 2 vehicles, looking for this girl. So when they left the place, the Reverend Sisters discovered that they were training them until, I asked them to come to the office, our office. They parked their vehicle there for 4 days because of fear of being attacked. So it's still, what I'm trying to say, it's still a problem. We have rescued the girl in question, but she was not able to know the exact spot because she got there at night and they were not allowed to come out of their rooms. waiting, for anywhere they want to take them to. So it's something that we all have to join hands, to make sure that we keep the state safe from human trafficking. The stakeholders are trying so much, the media is trying so much, but let us also make greater efforts to make sure that the human trafficking becomes a thing of the past.
Giving time and audience to this issue and this method and agreeing on this collaboration with, for the scale project. And without wasting our time, I'm sure from the narrative the father gave, I think now we're on the same page on what the cluster is about and the scale project. So and we happen to be the government support of the scale project. Yes. And then, like father has said, much has been done by this present government to demoralize or to eradicate the ills of human trafficking, and a lot of progress too has been made. I don't want to take us back to the narrative of I started because some are in the preambles of fathers. So then, and I think the call from the cluster for the localizations and the activity of the VTT and even the financial performance director, mostly is coming in good time because there's never a time the government presume that, or globally, the issue of human trafficking is not a one-man embracement. It's an issue the government, the society, is a global response. So if we know how it's being taken care of internationally, that's why we have international forum. So it's not a one-man thing. And most of those donations, which even in Nigeria is part of it, was international donor because your country has to donate international for that presence of the foreign migration to be used. So it's a very big thing. You don't understand it until you are really integrated inside because it's different from other structural projects you see. So this government has really done well in curbing human trafficking. It's done well. But the state we are now, that's why I said the call of the cluster came very timely. Okay, this government with the structure of the task force and the backing of the law, and with so much achievement, also evaluated itself and found that there was a need to step up the activities of human trafficking. And that's the process of turning into a commission with our agency. And that's the point, the stage where we are now. And so this call of institutionalizing in units of human trafficking in all the states is timely. And when we are able to also need the skill to know the position where we are now.
Osunde Mercy, reporting from Crusader TV News, Benin.